Welcome to Learning with Dr. Shivangi. Today's topic is Trade Policy Reforms in Industrial Policy 1991. As in the previous videos, we started a playlist for the subject business environment and also discussed various topics related to it like concept of business environment, economic policies, industrial policy and so on. So in today's video we'll discuss about the trade policy reforms in industrial policy 1991. You can also watch other videos. Links are provided in the description box. So before I started the video, I want to say you that if you like my video, please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe my channel which is Learning with Dr. Shivangi. Now coming to the main topic which is trade policy reforms in industrial policy 1991. So as far as trade policy is concerned, following changes were made in the 1991 industrial policy. First one is the administered licensing or imports replaced by import entitlements linked to export earnings. These entitlements called exempt scrips made freely tradable. So, firstly, the Industrial Policy 1991, on the basis of the trade policy, focused on the administered licensing of the export and import goods, and they can be freely tradable. The second objective of the Trade Industrial Policy 1991 under the trade policy reforms, exempt scripts can be used for all OGL. OGL means open general license items for actual users, limited permissible list, non-sensitive canalized list, and non-open general licensing capital goods not in the restricted list. So, under the Industrial Policy 1991, there is a different list prepared for the licensing purpose like open general licensing list items, limited permissible list items, non-sensitive canalized list, and non-open general licensing capital goods also. The other objective also under industrial policy under the trade policy reforms, which are permission to import capital goods without indigenous clearance provided import covered by foreign equity or was 25% of the value of plant and machinery subject to a limit of rupees 200 million. So, under the industrial licensing policy 1991 industrial policy, there are several lists are prepared on the basis of import capital goods with indigenous clearance with the foreign equity covered of 25% in the case of plant and machineries. The other objective is canalization is narrowed in the case of industrial policy 1991. There are some other objectives also, which is short term import compression measures such as interest surcharges or bank credit and cash margin on import payments introduced. Short term imports are also influenced in the case of industrial policy 1991. As far as environmental issues are concerned, following changes were brought about in India. First one is pollution control has assumed a significant role and commensurate with industrial expansion, and now a strong regulatory mechanism is required to ensure minimum environmental standards. To achieve this objective, a total of 2,155 pre and post 1991 units of 17 categorized have been identified for this purpose by the CPCB, which is Central Pollution Control Board. There are some environmental objectives also covered under the trade policy reforms in industrial policy 1991, in which we have categorized different 17 categories for the control of pollution in the country. In order to strengthen the environmental management capacity at national, state, and local levels, the ministry had launched an environment capacity building project in 1997. So, there's also a project was launched by the government of India for the protection of the environment in the country. The government has also come up with the comprehensive national environment policy. The policies of the government are being implemented through various acts such as the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, and the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution. So these are the different acts also prepared maintained by the government of India for controlling the pollution under the industrial policy Act 1991 with the trade reforms. So this is all about the trade policy reforms under the industrial policy 1991. I again summarizes all the points so that you can easily understand about the topic. So under the industrial policy 1991, various trade policy reforms taken place. For example, different types of goods are categorized on the basis of licensing, like open general licensing, limited permissible list licensing, non-sensitive canalized list, and the non-open general licensing capital goods. And exempt scripts are also made for the import and export of the different goods and services. Capital goods without indigenous clearance provided for import with the foreign equity, which is 25% of the value of plant and machinery. Canalization is narrowed in the case of industrial policy reforms. Uh, Environmental issues also covered under the industrial policy reforms within the trade policy reforms. Different acts, different boards like Central Board, Pollution Board, Control Board also formulated within the industrial policy 1991. So this is all about the trade policy reforms in the industrial policy 1991. If you have any query about this topic, or if you want to know about any other topic related to research methodology, business management, business environment, you can ask me through comment box. If you like my video, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, which is Learning with Dr. Shivangi. We met in the next video with new topic. Thank you everyone.